Hello, and welcome to System Override, and we are your hosts. I'm Jack.
And I'm Alex.
And we have a jam-packed show today.
System Override. System Override.
We have Vinyl Press to get your music fix for the day.
Then we have my personal favorite, car culture, because honestly, what's better than some fancy cars?
Well, I don't know about you, but I fancy myself in some science fiction, so beta is more my speed.
We're going to talk about an album, Faces by Mac Miller. I'm Brian. We have
Can you remember my name?
Caden
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I am Caden.
and Drayton.
Hello. So Mac Miller passed away pretty recently, which is sad to say because he was only 26, which if you take that into consideration to your own age, it's not that far off, especially most people here in this campus. So he was still fairly young. And I feel like it's almost fitting that we give him a send off in this style because he was a very big radio personality as well when it came to like being on radio, being a part of radio, like Hot 97 and all that. He was just kind of was always a part of it. But the reason we're choosing Faces specifically is because it's an album that delved into drug abuse, which is incidentally how he passed away. This mixtape has a really weird meaning behind it because this was like an in-between of watching movies with the sound off and what was it, Good AM. Because Good AM was like his slow transition into like poppy rap versus his really experimental watching movies with the sound off. Personally, I love this mixtape and I think it's arguably one of his best just due to its kind of raw feeling to it. Thing of note of this is a huge mixtape. It's 24 songs and all of them are at least 2 minutes each, which is it adds up pretty quickly. It hits about the hour 50, 45-minute mark. My opinion of this album is that I find it very fun because it doesn't take itself too seriously. Even though it has serious topics in it, you can definitely tell it's just him making music to make music. I'm in the same vein as everyone else where I like the lyrics a lot. This album has a lot of very repetitive, I would say, stylistic choices where the songs that really stand out the most are like Wedding and San Francisco. And then personally, I feel that Colors and Shapes and Rain are like the two most unique sounding and very fun goes at the same topic. But a lot of this album is about drug abuse and how it's affecting him, whether it be Wedding or San Francisco or anything of the sort. But I feel like the sound of the album really kind of you can dive in at any point and find one specific thing you want to listen to. Because this album has a very, very vibrant and upbeat song called Thumbelina, which is personally, I think, my favorite song on it because it just has such a good sound and it's very, very nice to just listen to every once in a while. Whereas Colors and Shapes is very, very slow and methodic with his singing and his style of lyric.
I just listened to the album yesterday and today, but my take on it, I actually enjoyed it. I think it's great. Like just like to have play in the background, you know. Like the vocals aren't assaulting, you know, like you can just like have it play in the background. It's nice, it's chill, and then like the beats, I enjoy them. They're soothing. You know, that's for me. You know, that's my take on it. I and for like I said, like a lot of new rap I don't care for. I don't know how new this is. This album, honestly,
2014.
that's fairly new, and I enjoy it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think he really nailed it on the head for what my problem was. Is the it was just originality. Like the background beat itself was unique, but just the way, I guess the way and the tone of how he said it. Even if I know there was like a message, I know there was like a good message behind it, but just the way that he said it just felt unoriginal to me.
I agree.
Sure.
And I really appreciate originality in songs.
As someone who really enjoys this album, I agree with you 100%. It's very ununique the way he says it. Like, I would say Wedding Day is probably his most ambitious try at it, or like grand finale, because they both have a very unique style. Like, literally, they're almost
Yeah.
polar opposites in stylistic sense, but they definitely have a very unique and good beat behind them. But the lyrics, they're generic in a lot of spots. But to me, I feel like that can be overshadowed by the history behind it a little bit. But
I'm sure a lot of that, like his creative ideas there, even though they don't feel original, they're probably more like out of passion from what inspired him. Like whoever this was it Tribal?
the Tribe Called
Tribe,
Quest.
yeah. So
And also, a lot of these ideas in his album don't feel fleshed out. I think that's what gets, I think, all of us on certain things, is that these all feel very, very half started, and then got about 70% the way done and went, well, I don't want to do this anymore, so I'm gonna probably put it down for a while and maybe pick it up later.
right.
Exactly. It's a very long mixtape. A lot of songs in there. I mean, not obviously, not all of them are going to resonate, but a few will. And there were a few that I genuinely enjoyed. Wedding was one of them, but I can't really name any others off the top of my head.
All right. Well,
Truly are a godsend.
that
Thank
wraps
God.
up this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody that's listening. And we'll now go back to your normally scheduled broadcast.
Rest in peace, Mac Miller. But on a less somber note, we have something else to get the heart racing.
Oh, yes, we do, because up next is car culture. Alex, didn't you say this was your favorite show?
Well, yes, I did. But that's only because that's what it says in the script here.
Huh. But before that,
Before that, make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram.
don't forget about TCWeekly.org.
Oh, thanks, man. Almost forgot. Now, back to car culture.
Oh my God. What is up, viewers? I'm Jack, and this is Car Culture, the mini show where each week we break down some of our favorite cars just for you. I hope you guys enjoy the show and learn a little bit more about some of the cars we're going to break down. Without further ado, let's get episode 1 started right now. So first off, episode 1, we're talking about the Mazda RX-7. The Mazda RX-7 was first produced in 1978 in Hiroshima, Japan. The sole purpose of this car being created was to try and compete with other kind of sports car models such as like the Datsun Nissan 280Z at the time. It originally came with a unique rotary engine and a rear-wheel drive layout, which gave the RX-7 a race-ready format straight from the factory. Now, let's go to when this car really took off, the 3rd generation RX-7. This car is known as the FD RX-7, and it's a pure sports car. Coming from the factory with a twin-turbo setup, it caught a lot of eyes in the car scene back in the day. They upgraded their motors in this generation, but this is the generation that they got it right. The 13B REW was the first mass-produced sequential twin-turbo system ever exported from Japan. The car came at around 255 horsepower, and could max around 276 depending how much boost you want to push through the car. What was cool about this motor is that when the car hit around 1800 RPMs, the first turbocharger would kick in, providing 10 psi of boost, so 10 pounds of boost at that exact moment. Then when it came around and when it hit 4000 RPMs, the second turbo would kick in, applying an additional 10 pounds of boost. So basically you're pushing 20 pounds of boost over 4,000 RPMs, and you're giving that car way more power, and it's just absolutely pulling when you're actually hammering on it. So with the 20 pounds of boost in total after you hit 4,000 RPMs, those cars rev out so high in the RPMs, they go to about 8-9 grand, and that just provides that much more power when the car is actually fully on peak boost around 4,000 RPM. So basically anything after that, the whole build up into that whole gear that you're shifting through, is going to give that car way more power and way more torque coming off the line. The handling of this car was incredible, and is still known to be one of the best handling cars to come from the factory setup to date. So yes, if you were wondering about the racing scene for this car, it was already a hit. It competed and took 21st at the 24-hour Le Mans, and it took first and second at the 24-hour Daytona race when the car was first revealed. The car even made an appearance at the World Rally Championship, placing 11th in its first race ever. In '99, the car received an upgrade, getting a different motor, different wheels, and other cosmetics along with it. But sadly, all good things come to an end. The car was discontinued in August of 2002, and the RX-7 brand was already shot dead at that point. Not too long after Mazda discontinued the Mazda RX-7 FD, they came out with the Mazda RX-8 almost a year later. But like all good things, they all come to an end because the RX-8 was a total flop compared to the RX-7 FD. It wasn't that the RX-8 was bad looking or nobody wanted it, it just didn't come with everything that the RX-7 FD did. It didn't come twin turboed, and I feel like it just was kind of a half-assed built car compared to all the time they put into building the RX-7s and making them for what they were. Hope you guys all enjoyed the little backstory on the Mazda RX-7 and possibly learned something new. I'm Jack, and this concludes episode 1 of Car Culture. See you guys later.
Well, after that, I actually kind of like cars a little bit now.
Hey man, that's pretty good. But with all that said, we should take a look around campus and see what's going on this week.
So what is going on campus?
Well, as we speak, there's an exhibit going on in the Commons, but there's also an alcohol awareness event with free mocktails.
Free stuff? You'll definitely find me down there. But first things first, we need to see what Beta has to show us, because this is something we can't miss.
When individuals began to collect more money than entire governments, things changed. Instead of buying islands, the Eris family bought entire countries. Fast forward several generations, and the Eris family owns 72% of the free world. They set up their own government, centered entirely around business. They called it the conglomerate. Skip ahead several more generations, and Eris releases the perfect piece of personal technology, the OptiLink, an implantable device that allows users to live your life hands-free. Nearly every citizen, or as Eris labels them, employee, owns their own OptiLink. It's really a wonderful piece of technology.
Have you seen a young woman walk past here?
No, sir, I haven't.
Have a nice night, sir.
Well, I guess we both found out something about ourselves.
What's that?
Well, I found out that I like some science fiction, and you go wild about free stuff.
You don't? That's weird. But after all is said and done, we got to watch some great content and had some fun along the way.
That's so very true. But now it's time we got to wrap this thing up.
It most certainly is. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time here on System Override.
Hope you all have a great day.
System override.